Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Aaron Shannon Jr. Shannon died on Monday, November 1st, 2010 in the 1000 block of East 84th Street in Florence, according to LA County coroner records. Marcus Denson and Leonard Hall were subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. In the early afternoon of October 31st, 2010, members of the Kitchen Crip gang held a meeting. Defendant Leonard Hall and Marcus Denson were among those present. Denson, who testified for the prosecution at trial, indicated that the meeting was held because defendant's father was angry because the gang was not taking good care of him after he was shot, supposedly by a member of the rival Swans gang. After that meeting, Denson, defendant, and a few other Kitchen Crips went to another meeting. There, a senior member of the Kitchen Crips told Denson and defendant to go scope out across Central, which is Swan territory, and report back. The prosecution's gang expert testified that during this time, there were numerous shootings and the Kitchen Crips and the Swans were at war, and there were shootings going back and forth across the street, basically between the gangs. The two men entered Swan's territory on 83rd Street, turned onto Wadsworth, and then turned into the first alley. This alley contained gang graffiti. According to the prosecution's gang expert, the graffiti was written by Swan's gang members. It listed the initials for several gangs, including the Kitchen Crips. These letters were crossed out, which was the Swans' way of saying that the other gangs were their enemies and they would kill them. As they walked down the alley, Denson noticed some people in a backyard. Denson didn't think the people were gang members because he didn't feel that tension and that vibe he usually felt when he encountered rival gang members. Denson nodded to the people and kept walking. Denson heard shots, looked back, and saw the defendant shooting into the backyard at the people. Defendant didn't say anything before he started firing, and Denson ran away. The occupants of the backyard were William Shannon, his son Terrence Shannon, and his 5-year-old grandson Aaron Shannon Jr., who were in the yard near the fence. Damian Pearson and Aaron Jr.'s father were near the house. None of them were gang members. A subsequent police investigation showed that the backyard was directly across the alley from the gang graffiti, however. William noticed defendant and Denson as they came down the alley because he had never seen anybody walking down the alley before. Both men walked past the property, but seconds later, defendant returned and began shooting at them. Defendant hit William in the arm, Terrence in the leg, and Aaron Jr. in the head. Paramedics came to the scene and took Aaron Jr. to the hospital, where he died the next day. Surveillance video from a nearby store recorded Denson and a man with braided hair running from the area. Two men who worked in the area heard gunshots, looked outside and saw Denson and another man running. They recognized Denson from the neighborhood. One of the men later selected defendant from a 6-pack photographic lineup as resembling the man with Denson. William Shannon identified defendant as the shooter in a 6-pack photographic lineup and at trial. Terrence also identified defendant as the shooter in a 6-pack photographic lineup and at trial. Pearson identified defendant as the shooter at trial. Co-defendant Marcus Denson pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter in the death of Aaron Shannon Jr. and 2 counts of attempted murder involving the boy's grandfather and uncle. Denson was sentenced to 25 years and 8 months in prison. Following the trial, the jury convicted Leonard Hall of 1 count of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder, including a gun and gang enhancement. The court sentenced Hall to a term of 128 years to life in state prison. Aaron Shannon Jr. was 5 years old at the time of death.